Well, I'm here with Dave Moores from NTT Data Business Solutions. Dave, it was a long couple of days.
Yes.
How are you feeling about the investment in time that you made, of your own time and of your team's time?
The investment was well worth it. You never know coming into these sessions really what it's going to take out of you and how much input these really required. The first day it really was difficult because we had to break a lot of things down, some long-held positions on what we thought was right, and had to kind of demystify that or take some of the mythology away. Rebuilding today on the second day was quite invigorating because we were kind of being given back the tools to build the new that we knew we wanted to do, but we wouldn't have been able to do that if we hadn't broken, right, the old paradigm, as it were.
Why did you feel you needed so many of your team here in the formation of your plan?
Well, I think I've got to have my primary stakeholders of my own team in to actually make it work. I could have done this in isolation, and I would have had probably a bigger selling job to do that internally to my own team and the rest of the business. It was very important to have their input and for me to listen to that as well, and learn from their perspectives, which are very different.
NTT Data was already well positioned in the Australian market.
We haven't made it overly complex, but we haven't overly simplified it either. We've kept it very specific to what we understand we need to do. We'll be able to articulate that quite clearly to the business in the next week. We'll build some training. We know where we need to focus and where we don't. We know parts of the overall plan now, where the priorities are and what we want to focus on. My challenge, I guess, coming into the 2 days was that, organisations often change the structure of their sales organisation to fit with what they need to do with their business result or an outcome, but seldom look at how that's market facing. And clients have got used to, changing a salesperson every year because there's another change. We don't want to do that. We want to realign once and then actually have a process and a cadence, as it were, that actually ensures we then are focused on how the client needs to buy and how we need to behave. And that means then we don't have to keep changing a structure according to how we want to sell, because everything we do is about the buyer journey, and that we minimise that restructuring all the time. And that's really what I wanted to get out of this. And the gap that I had was that I knew I had holes in that process, and I needed something to facilitate these sessions so that we could really find out where those gaps were and fill them up.
Dave, I'm personally excited. We've now got a great new strategy and a great new process that respect what you're already good at, adding some elements that you feel make sense to add into the mix to have a really clear process. We've harnessed the knowledge and insights and contributions from SAP, and what we've got is a combined sales marketing plan that describes that which you're already good at, that which you want to become great at, and that which you want to be in the market. And it's really exciting. I look forward to watching your execution of it.
I don't think it's a sales plan. I think it's a new way of working and a discipline to ensure we've got the focus. And I think that was one of the first comments I made yesterday when we opened the session, and that was the importance of focus and not being complex, but actually staying on strategy and executing what we say we're going to do. I'm very enthusiastic. We've got a great baseline to start from, and the results will speak for themselves.
Good. Thank you, and look forward to working with the team.
Thank you.